Okay, so we've just got a new project car arriving. There it is. So it is a Suzuki Jimny. So this is going to be George, young George, my son. This is going to be his first car, and we'll have a look at the car in this video, and we'll also talk about, is it a good choice for a first car? So I think it's four-wheel drive, should be, hopefully. We'll have a look. They did a few two-wheel drive ones, so we'll let the driver get it off, and then we'll see if it starts. And you can see already we've got some rear damage there, so we'll have a look. Right, let's have a go. We've got it. It's reverse. It starts up. We've got two keys. Right, let's have
see what happens.
Right, we'll have a look. It's a bit windy. We'll get it inside the workshop. We'll throw the stig out and have a look. So the insurers have written some markings on it. So there is a little crease in this side. It's hardly, you can feel it. So maybe this panel has creased a bit. It is recorded as structural damage. So there is some structural damage. And I've literally just got it off. I'm looking at it with you. And we did notice there is this sort of toe hook here has gone back slightly, so that may well have transferred a little bit of thing onto the chassis. And one little quick test I just did was I put two fingers in here, and I can just get two fingers in here, and if we go on this other side, it's a little windy, sorry, it's probably a couple of millimeters out there. But let's have a look what we've got. We've got electric windows. It's only done 19,000 miles. Jump on in. Well, George is going to come in. He's on half term this week, so we'll get him in and he'll clean it up. We've got 1.3. Oh, right. So we have got four-wheel drive. Look. So we've got two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and it's got a proper low ratio. So this is one of the small four-wheel drives actually got a proper low ratio. So we've got everything. We haven't got air conditioning. We've got a button missing there, Tyler. I'll have to work out what that button cover there is. We've got heated mirrors. We got, look at that, a CD player. What have we got in the glove box? What have we got in here? I'm hoping we'll find a locking wheel nut tool, because we've got locking wheel nuts, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, we did say, the driver just said that someone had put the service history in here. So let's have a look. Oh, let me turn that key off. It's getting a bit excited. So there we go. So I've got to be careful not to show anyone's address details. So there we go. It's from Fareham. So I think we've got a fully stamped. Look, we've got full service history all the way. Look at that. So we've got fully stamped service history. Let's have a look in the boot, shall we, Tyler? We got central lock-in. We got steel wheels. We'll get some tyres on here. Right, so also they're saying this door's a bit dented, but it doesn't look. Can we see any dents in there, Tyler?
Yeah, well, not the camera, but he's definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a. But it works, doesn't it? So we've got a new bumper already. We bought a new.
This was off anyway.
We'll give it a wash. We'll get George on the pressure washer in a minute. Look, there you go. Just stick that on, Tyler. Look, he's good as new. You got bits of light. What have we got in the back here? Oh, yeah, look, we got the locking key. Happy days. And I bet he's even given us the old spare wheel nuts. Look. Yes, we're in. What a player. Any damage to the boot floor visible? Can't see any crease in there. We'll have to give it a good clean and a look at that. But I think that's not a bad little first cut. Or what have you found, Tyler? It could be old. It looks like the jack should be in there, shouldn't it? There we go. So we'll give it we got the jack there. We'll give it a clean. Always handy having a jack. Freelander 2 story. We went off-road and didn't have a jack. Yes, we've got the spare wheel on the back door, so it's very Defender-esque. And maybe we'll do a little comparison, because George would really have liked an original Defender, but they're expensive, and I'll do a little comparison later, and we'll have a look at what's the fuel economy, what's the 0 to 60, what's the brake horsepower, what's the insurance group, and we'll compare how practical it would have been for George to get an old Defender versus this little Suzuki Jimny. So right, let's go and pull George out of bed, and then we'll get wash in and take that rear bumper off. Right, so George is here. We've got George in. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put it up on the ramps and we're going to give it a pressure wash. We've got the pressure washer out. Ta-da! Right, so George, you're going to give me a hand getting it up on the ramp?
Yeah.
You're going to watch me. Shall I put it in low ratio so it can crawl up really slowly?
Good idea.
Give it a try. Watch me. I'm not sure how parallel we got the ramps. Look at the... Right, you join us underneath the car. We thought we'd do the quick tour underneath before we got it all wet, because then I'd be lying in the water, which is never good. So, a couple of interesting things. This looks aftermarket to me, so this looks like a steering damper that's been added on. This doesn't look factory, so that looks good. I can't see any signs of any twist or anything in the chassis. It's got lots of underseal. You'll notice we've got proper swivel joints, like on the front of a Defender. You got proper swivels. We got solid axles. We got a front diff. We got a rear diff. We got trailing arms. Got big anti-roll bar here. It's all looking all right. Well, let's move back down a bit if we can. Tiddly little exhaust. Look at that. There we go. That comes down there. That all looks good. It looks like there might be a bit of an oil leak on this joint here. Other than that, it's all looking good. Come back down. Interesting, they've routed all the brake pipes and petrol pipes well inside the chassis there, so they're not going to get damaged if we go off-road. Everything else is looking good. There's a load of sort of wax oil. Now I don't know whether the guy had it wax oiled or undercoated, but it's certainly got a good coating of under rust protection. And if we look down underneath further, we got the rear diff. There's some evidence of some sort of flaking paint on the trailing arms here, but nothing I'm worried about. That all looks pretty good. Right, let's crack on with the pressure washing. How are we looking, George?
Good.
It's coming up.
Very soapy this side.
So we'll finish cleaning it, we'll get it down. Yeah, we've got to rinse it off. And then we'll get the rear bumper off and have a look at the damage. But we just noticed the bonus thing, haven't we, George?
Yeah.
Look at this. K&N sticker there. So I think he's changed the air filter. So we just let's have a quick peek in the bonnet here and you'll have a look. So I don't know why this soundproofing's gone all sort of green and yellow, but there's the engine, a little 1.3. Now 16 valve double overhead cam engine. We'll talk a bit more about that later. Looks like we've got a replacement Halfords battery, and it looks like he's changed the air filter for a K&N performance air filter, so we're all looking quite good in here. What am I doing cleaning your car, George? You played me, son. Right, let's have a look at the Suzuki Jimny. So we've pressure washed it, we brought it in the workshop, and we've given it a quick clean. Right, how's it looking? So what have we noticed? It's got a few accessories on it, hasn't it, George? Tinted window visors. I think the roof bars were accessory on this, standard fitment on this model. So I forget what trim level this is. I'll look it up and put it on the screen now. But it did come with, I guess we've got roof mounted aerial. Looks like there's a few marks around the keyhole and bits and pieces, scratches. There's a big dent in the roof here. He was a bit savage, she. Look at that. Can you see that on the camera? Hopefully. Inside's all looking clean. We've got this mostly cleaned up now. All the electric windows works. We've done that. We've had it in low ratio 4. It came with a set of carpet mats, which was nice. We've got that front steering damper, which is a nice accessory to have. We've got the K&N air filter for increased airflow, which is cool. We've got the tow bar mounted on it, which is an accessory. And I think it's given it some extra strength. I don't know if these bigger steel wheels were standard fitment, but we like those, don't we, George?
Yeah, really like them.
Really liking those. Right, let's have a look at this damage a bit closer now we've cleaned it. So I've come up with a cunning plan. So this is supposed to be your rear sort of tow eye, and it's been pushed that way. But it's got a lovely little hoop that I can put a rope round. And I reckon if I put a rope round one of the containers outside, one of our 20-foot shipping containers, and then drive this away from the shipping container, I reckon I can give it a and pull this back straight. Now, it's not an ideal repair, but I always like to, I don't do many crash repairs, but if it's had an impact here, I'd like to sort of wind the clock back, and hopefully we'll be able to at least straighten that out, and then we may have to put a bit of weld on that. But we'll have a look. But that's going to be my initial plan, and then we'll take this rear bumper off. Will be our next job. Let's just have a quick look around. Well, what did we find? So we wonder if this person's a bit of a boy racer, don't we? / girl racer. Because we've got the K&N air filter, which we thought was a bit racy, but then we spotted, we've had a look what was in the car. We know a few things. What did we know? They shop at the range. There's the keys. There's another receipt for the range. We had a Greggs receipt. What happened to that? We had a Greggs receipt. Look. Aspirational sweets here. Porsche 911 sweets while driving your Suzuki Jimny. That's flash. Right. But yeah, no, we're really pleased with it, aren't we, George? Everything's looking good. Oh, what have you broken? Right. Next job, we've got to remove the rear bumper. Now, we did buy a rear bumper in anticipation. The bumper came before the car. So, on the spec level of this car, it came with a colour-coded bumper. You can see it's got the metallic red paint there. And we are going to replace it with this cheaper one. Now, that's got two advantages. One, it was cheap. It's a second-hand bumper. Cost us £75, I think, with delivery on eBay. But secondly, we don't have to get any painting done. And it means it's a bit easier. We're not so worried about it as a learner car with the odd bump or scrape. And then we maybe look at putting a metal bumper on it later, might we, George? Yeah. There's some off-road bumpers. So this is our job for this afternoon. We'll try and squeeze that into this video. And that is about it for now. So we're going to have some lunch, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how we'll remove the rear bumper. All right, George is on it. So we're going to take the rear bumper off. There's a 10mm spanner there. There's a couple of 10mm screws we've got to get out of the wheel arch here. And then most of the fittings seem to be off. I think the lights will come off with it, so we'll have a go at whooping that off now. Right, I think there is a hidden fixing here underneath the light. So George is there's just two screws that go in to hold the light in. You got that, George? They go in the sideways on that one, do they?
Well, look at that.
Okay. Look at you and your magnetism.
Wow, there's spiders everywhere here.
It's a bit dark in there. But you reckon those two screws, I reckon you're on the right ones, George. Right, and then let's see if that light pulls out, and then there should be a fixing. You dropped it again, George?
Yep.
What do you reckon? Door closed? Probably easier. Mind your fingers, mind your fingers. Right, go on then, see if you can you got anything to grip it there? There you go, well done. Right, and then let me come around this side of here. Twist, you got two lights on that one, so twist those two anti-clockwise. That's right, pop those out. And then we should have, easy now. And then you've got just that last one there, George. You should better remove that with and then we should be bumper off, I reckon. We could upgrade the bulbs to LED bulbs, George.
That'd be cool.
There we go. Do a few little upgrades. Go on then. You might need the socket or the spanner on that one.
No, I got pure strength.
No, you're rounding it now.
Oh.
Yeah, mind those bulbs on your paintwork.
Put me off now.
Yeah.
It's not going
Right,
well.
it's not going well. You not got it. You could use a screwdriver once you got it loose, but you got it by hand now.
There you go.
Right then, do you want to give that bumper a gentle pull, George, and see if it comes off? Right, this side's all good. Oh, that's it. Right, try that now, George. That's it. Right, now gentle down because you've got some wires probably in there somewhere. Right, so that's the bumper off. We'll just disconnect the wiring loom, and then we'll have a look, and mooch around and see if we can see the damage a bit more clearly. Right, so we have got, this is my present from Non-Stick Nick. I don't know if I'm supposed to be using it for this. Sorry if I'm not, Nick, but we're going to do a product test, Nick. Nick has sent us, Non-Stick Nick from the Off-Road Recovery Group, he has sent me this super duper tow rope. Look, and it's rated at 2.5 tons. 5 tons, we're new. It's new. We're going for 5 tons. Well, thank you, Tyler. So, what the problem we got, if you spin around the side, yes, swap sides, George, you go around that side, I'll go, is, this sort of tow eye's taken a right clobber in here. There's a bolt out there. But I reckon if I put this shackle on it and pull it backwards, if we can get this hook round it, let's have a look. See if the Off-Road Recovery Group, look at that. And I reckon if I pull this back and we strap the other end round a shipping container, I reckon I'll be able to just pull this back. Right, let's go and destroy some shipping containers. Right, it's a bit windy, but we've got a 40-foot shipping container here. I've just put this wheel shackle around here. I reckon if I get one of these through here, we might be able to then connect Non-Stick Nick super duper tow rope to it. Alright, if I spin that round that way, have I got enough to get that through there? Oh, look at that. Nick's going to be proud of me. It's like a pro job. Right, now, we've got to shut this rear door because we don't want that. Mind the connectors. Whoa. Right, we're seat belted in. I don't think it's going to set the airbags off. I think the airbags go off on impact, not. But let's try it slow first. Here we go. Right, so we have tidied this up, we've demangled this a bit, we've closed that gap up, we'll drop a bit of weld on there to give that, but we've now got our mount, our rear bumper mount, so we're ready to throw the new bumper on now. Right, so yesterday we got the Suzuki and today we have sort of got it finished. Now, don't start shouting and writing comments to me, that's not a proper body shop repair. I know that's not a proper body shop repair. Don't do that at home, we were just doing that quickly. It's just George's first car. It's only a 1.3 litre four-wheel drive. We are going to take it off-road. It's perfectly safe. You may disagree with me, feel free to disagree with me, but that's what we've done. I'm happy to put my son in this car with that repair at the back. Right, so let's have a look. What have we done? What does it look like? So we've cleaned it up. There's our little 1.3 litre Suzuki Jimny in red and black. There we go. So we've got some interesting things. We'll sit in the car in a minute. That crease is still there. This is just polish. We have put this unpainted lower spec back bumper on. We have still got a little bit of a dent. Can you see that there, Zach? We've got this little bit of a dent here. We could try and sort of press that out, but for George, that's going to be left there. We've got all that in, all the fixings. We're waiting for the rear light to come. We bought 1 minute. I'll put all the costs up on the screen now, so you can see our purchase cost. Now, at the moment, if you're watching this in the future, that's a ridiculous amount to pay. But at the moment, cars are ridiculous, aren't they, Zach? Zach's looking for a new car, and he's like, they're all stupid money. So this car on the road at the moment now is between, with the mileage we've got, and there's a story with that, we'll have a look at that in a minute. It'll be about £12,000 if we were to buy one of these. We've got it for around 6. So we've saved ourselves a lot of money. But obviously it is a recorded write-off, and when you come to sell it, it's got a little mark on the logbook, so we cannot get full value for it, and obviously there is still a little bit of twistiness going on under there. Right, so we've got the bumper on, it's all looking good. There you go. It's too good for a first car, really, isn't it? But that's a good job. Right, let's jump inside. There's some stories we found out. So yeah, come and join in. Recline your seat, Zach. Make yourself comfy. Push your seat back. We're going to have a look. So when we got the car, we've got this like Suzuki way of life. We've got this little service manual, I found. And look, one thing I spotted last night was, look at this. The first owner, RNLI, the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. Now, what would they want with a little Suzuki Jimny? Now, when I saw the damage at the back, I wondered if the car, there's the car here and the tow bars on it, and I noticed tow bar. I wondered if trailer had jackknifed into the side, because it's a funny damage it's got to it, and that may make sense. And the tow bar is out, it's deployed, so I wonder if that is what has happened. The other thing, I wonder if Zach can spot this one. Why would you be concerned buying a car off the RNLI? Any ideas, Zach? The water, salty water and corroding. Now, when we looked underneath, it's got loads of underseal on it. It's got loads of rust protection. Now, whether that's factory or whether that's like it's going to go near the water. But there was no evidence of any rust at the back. And then George and I were joking last night and saying maybe we should think of a name for it, and maybe we should call it Boaty McBoatface, because apparently that's what you've got to call everything. Yeah, look that up. Right, there was another bad news story. So we were looking through here yesterday, serviced at 3,000 miles, 5,000 miles, 7,000 miles, 20,000 miles. And then look, there's some nonsense going on here. It says 26, but then it says a new speedo was fitted. And I spotted at the back of the book, it says notes, a speedo was fitted at 21,000. So there was me yesterday going 19,000 miles. And I'll have a look at when I bought it on Copart. But basically, I've bought what was advertised as a 19,000 miles. Can't be mugged off, Zach. It's actually 40,000 miles, which actually isn't too bad, is it? For the year of car, that's all right. So I'm not too worried. But there you go. So don't always believe what you read on the speedo. So we've got so now you see, because it goes back in mileage, it goes 20,000, 26,000, 11,000 and 15. So there's some weirdness going on, but we do have the service history. There's no mechanical problems with the car. We are now going to put the car in for an MOT. That's the end of this video. We will do another video where we talk about, is this a good first car? We'll compare it, we'll look at some of the specs, and we may even do another video of 10 things this can do better than my Defender. So we'll have a look. So there we go, Suzuki Jimny Part